of RAPE, armed robbery, and first-degree murder, and he was charged as an adult at just 14 years old. So now let's get into what on earth could possibly possess a seemingly average teenager to commit a crime so heinous against his own teacher. Right before Philip ambushed Colleen in the restroom, there was another student in that classroom with him at this, after class meeting or whatever you would call it. And this student witnessed a conversation where Colleen asked Philip how Danvers was different from Tennessee, where he had lived previously, and asked him how he liked the change. And the student said that she sensed that Philip was irritated with this line of questioning, but said that Colleen didn't notice at first that he was irritated. But then when she did, she moved on to another topic. Now, Philip's defense team later argued that Tennessee was the trigger word for him. That's why he decided to assault and murder his teacher, because she said the word Tennessee. If your jaw is on the floor right now being like, hi, that makes no freaking sense, Annie, you are right, and let's talk more about that. So to me, this video that we saw in the surveillance footage, which I also described to you here, shows that there's no way that this was a rage killing, all because he was insulted by a question that Colleen asked him, and that Tennessee was so triggering for him that he had no choice but to assault and murder her. Because the fact that he brought gloves, a box cutter, an extra change of clothes, all of that to school, to me, clearly shows premeditation. Then afterwards, he was attempting to evade being caught with the gloves, the hoodie, all of it, and had a ski mask pulled over. I mean, clearly this was something that had either been planned or he thought he was going to hurt somebody, and it just happened to be Colleen because maybe his rage started to bubble. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this story, Philip had just moved from Clarksville, Tennessee in July, about 2.5 months before this murder took place. According to neighbors, Philip was traumatized by this move and had been maintaining hope that his mother would change her mind, even as she drove him and his sister north in the van. The Boston Globe reported that Philip was very well known around his Clarksville neighborhood, had a ton of friends, and could often be found playing soccer or basketball or riding around on his skateboard. And a former girlfriend of Philip's, 14-year-old Hannah Walker, spoke out and told the media that she and Philip became friends in the 6th grade. She said that they became close over a period of a year and that they walked home together regularly every single day. It's sad, I get it, that he had to move away from Tennessee. And I'm not trying to be callous and say I don't have any empathy for him with that. I get it. Being the new kid sucks, especially when you're going into some of those important teenage years. You're being ripped away from all of your friends and you're being put into this new town where you don't know anybody. I get it. That is really shitty. But is that an excuse to go into a murderous rage from hearing the trigger word Tennessee? No, not in my opinion. I'm not buying it. I believe that there has to be more underneath in all of this. You don't just plan and implement a very violent and sexual murder just because mommy made you move. That's not how it works. There has to be some deep hatred brewing inside. Now, personally, I believe that this was some kind of lust murder, because lust murders are homicides in which the offender stabs, cuts, or pierces or mutilates the sexual regions or organs of a person's body. The sexual mutilation of the victim might include, some sort of displacement of the genitalia, some sharp wounds to it, the removal of breasts in a female victim, all sorts of different things. It also includes activities such as posing or propping up the body to make them appear in a more sexual state. Additionally, it also includes the insertion of objects into the body cavities, which we know that she was found with a 3-foot-long stick, 1 inch in diameter, that had been shoved up inside of her. So while awaiting trial, apparently officers were investigating the validity of a very disturbing tip and lead that they received, which, are you ready for this?